Hi, I'm Grace Baroni, and welcome to Conversations with the ERC5. I am honored to have with me today President Hubert Benitez from American International College, AIC. President Benitez, welcome to the podcast. It is truly an honor to have you here with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Grace, thank you so much for the invitation. The honor's mine. Thank you for having me, and thank you for having AIC being represented as part of this podcast.
Oh, well, we are delighted. If we could we begin, because you are a very interesting man. Your investiture, I was so honored to be there. And if you could share just briefly with our audience your journey and what led you here to AIC, that would be wonderful.
I'm happy to share that journey with you, Grace, because I think it's not unique, but it's just resembles who I have been and who my family has been as people. You know, I was born in Colombia. Mm-hmm. But I lived most of my life in the States, part of my life in Colombia, part of my life in the States. And it came that way because of my dad's work. My dad came to the U.S. as an immigrant, a first-generation college student, many years ago, and he came to pursue higher education. He went to Louisiana State University, became a chemical engineer. Mm-hmm. Then he went to Indiana to pursue a master's degree. And for 40 years, he worked for a U.S.-based paper company headquartered in Mississippi, in the state of Mississippi. So while I was born in Colombia, my elementary school years were in the state of Mississippi, in a small town called Pascagoula, Mississippi. So I went to parochial school there, and because of his work, we've been back and forth. Mm-hmm. But then in my younger adulthood, I pursued my first doctoral degree in Colombia. I became a dentist. And once a dentist, you die being a dentist. And I did do clinical practice for about 14 years, but I knew that I wanted to be in higher education in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And part of that transition, after I did some years of clinical practice, I came back to the U.S. and I pursued a postdoctoral fellowship. So I came to the University of Connecticut Health Sciences Center. I did a four-year postdoc in education and research as part of the School of Dental Medicine. And then I pursued a PhD in higher education administration at St. Louis University. And then I'm a graduate from the Institute of Educational Management, a leadership program offered by Harvard, and then executive training at part of Penn. So I've been a student all my life. I believe in lifelong learning.
Yes.
And my career was more or less a typical academic career. At some point, I had a faculty appointment. Then I became a director. Then I became an assistant dean, an associate dean. I became a dean. Then I became a provost. And then became a college president. This is arriving to AIC approximately a year and a half ago, is my second presidency. I became president for the first time at St. Luke's College of Health Sciences in Kansas City, where I served about 4.5 years. And now here I am in Springfield, Massachusetts, serving AIC. And I'm very proud to serve AIC, an institution that has a lot of meaning to me because of its mission, its values, and what it represents in the community.
Well, I thank you for sharing that, because I think as we're going to talk on a few things, what's important with education is that it is a lifelong process. We're always learning, and we can always shift careers, and there's opportunities everywhere. Life is a learning experience, and you show us that. You live it, you walk it. You began as a dentist, and your passion, though, was somewhere else, and you followed it. And it brought you here to do incredible things for us.
That is exactly right, Grace. It's about the journey. Mm-hmm. The end point will be the end point. Who knows where the end point is going to be, but it's about the journey and what you decide that journey to be. For me, when I became an academic and became part of higher education, I knew that I had two goals in mind. First, truly be sensitive to the life experiences that my father had as an immigrant and as a first-generation college student, an individual that had no knowledge of speaking English and yet came to this country to better himself and then, of course, better his family. So that always stuck in the back of my mind. The second part is understanding and being sensitive to the fact that the journey of individuals coming to higher education is so different for many people.
Yes.
Being sensitive to those challenges, to those roadblocks, to those opportunities. So being sensitive to that. So I've devoted my academic life on trying to facilitate pathways, create bridges, create transitions, basically opening the doors and increasing access to higher education to demographic of students that may not otherwise be served. You know, we take for granted that access to education is there for every single student. It's really not. It's really not. You got to open those pathways. And that's what I've devoted my academic career to.
Well, we are so fortunate to have you here. So how do we open up those pathways? We have been very blessed at the ERC5 because we sat down with some of your faculty and administrators, and we're trying to explore how do we share those pathways with our youth in our towns, in our cities, with the community, and show them that there are different opportunities available and to explore locally. How are you addressing that? How are you moving that forward?
I think you said the word that is critical here, Grace, which is community and engaging with the community. For example, at AIC, one of the things that we've tried to do, and I think we've made some strides, is collectively work with community members and trying to open the doors of AIC as an institution of higher learning to the entire community. We, and me personally, I try to meet with people from all facets of life.
Yes.
Community members, leaders, faith leaders, not-for-profits, for-profit institutions, small businesses, large businesses. And my idea is opening the doors of AIC and coming to ERC and say, how can we work together? Is there something that we can do together? Sometimes we find very simple synergies, very national synergies. Sometimes we don't, but it's about, all right, you have an institution of higher learning right in the middle of Springfield, and we have a business. Is there things that we can do together? So that's one part. But the second part is truly understanding the needs of the community and the families that we serve.
Yes.
AIC is very unique because the majority of our students come from about a 25 to 35 mile radius of Springfield, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So that means that we are educating a demographic of students that is typically, or the majority, local. But what's the benefit? It's that our graduates typically stay in the workforce of Springfield and of the region and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So for us, that mission is incredibly important because we want our human capital to be here, to stay here, and to serve here. So we have met with parents, we have met with community groups, with community organizations saying, the only thing we need is for you to become aware that AIC exists, and we're happy to reach out and explain what that transition to higher ed is all about. We are in 2023, and there are still family households where higher education is not even on the radar of what's being considered for kids moving forward. I would say that is a societal issue that we need to deal with. What is our job? Is to truly continue to put that education is a pathway for
it's
everyone.
An opportunity
it's
that's
an opportunity
there.
That is there
Let us show
for everyone. Let us show you how you create that path and how you can have access to that education. I hear a lot, education is not for everyone. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I think education is for everyone. Some individuals elect for a higher education degree. Some individuals don't, and that's okay. But the opportunity of education should be there for everyone to decide whether that is the right way or not for the individual.
Well said. because that is the truth. We need to educate everyone that the possibilities are there for every individual, regardless. It's there. You can pursue your passion, your career, but if they don't know that it's available, if they don't know how to follow their heart, their desire to do something, and if we can't show them what the pathway is to getting that degree, then that's a failure on us.
On us. Absolutely it is on us. Absolutely it is on us.
And we talk about changing numbers. Yeah. That's where we begin.
Correct.
By educating everyone that, yes, as the daughter of an immigrant, whatever your circumstances are, if you were born in this country or if you came here from another country, the opportunities are here. That's why our parents came here, to show us everything that we could accomplish. And now it's on us to show the youth that, yes, regardless of what your background is, you can accomplish this. This is how we can get there. That's what I loved about sitting down with your staff, is that it was all about just ideas. How do we share with our youth in our communities all the opportunities and all the ways that AIC can work with them to get them here, to help them follow their dream?
And not only that this is why two of AIC's core values are access and opportunity. It is all about increasing access and providing opportunity to students from diversity is our third core value, and then community and belonging are the other two core values of AIC. It's all about providing access, creating the opportunity to a diverse population that creates community. And once we have that, they need to feel a sense of belonging. And that's what we're trying to do at AIC. Open a space for every single student or for any individual, regardless of age, gender, sexual orientation, faith, to feel that they can come to an institution and they feel that they belong. So that's how we follow our core values at AIC.
Well, you do it well, because every time I've been on campus, I was just saying, I always feel so welcome. The staff, the students, it's just a very warm, friendly campus. I have so enjoyed myself, and encourage all of our viewers, if they haven't been to AIC, they need to go down and take in the campus. It's absolutely lovely. And our time here, unfortunately, because we could go on for much longer, is coming to a close. I do want to point out one thing, because we are here at Stonegate Studios in Wilbraham, and I just love to always applaud the community. We have a student from Wilbraham, from Minnechaug Regional High School, who recently signed. She will be playing, I think, lacrosse at AIC. So kudos to Wilbraham
kudos
and to
Minnechaug, and to her, and we look forward to having her.
Yes, we're very excited. It's always great when students stay locally. I think that's always a reason to celebrate. So if there's a student out there who thinks, I want to learn more about AIC, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
The best way is clearly visit our website, www.aic.edu. There you will find a wealth of information about AIC. And there's multiple ways. There's contact us. You can ask virtual questions. You can get answers on the spot on the website. You have all the contact information there. You will find individuals. You will find email addresses. You will find phone numbers. Start with the Office of Admissions. We have a lovely team of admissions officers that are willing and ready to answer any questions. I always leave this message. There is no bad question. If we don't have an answer, we'll find an answer for you. But regardless of what you're interested in, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your situation, we may have an opportunity for you. So I invite everyone to consider AIC as an institution for their next step in their education.
Thank you so much, President Benitez. This has been a pleasure. And in 2024, I think we need to continue this conversation.
I would be happy to continue the conversation, Grace. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To our viewers, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Conversations with the ERC5. If you would like to be a guest, please go to our website, erc5.com, and sign up to join us here at Stonegate Studios in Wilbraham.